Hello everyone, if you're new here, my name is Mel and I am back with a tutorial that's going to be a main focus project from my channel. So I wanted to do this dollar store challenge, and I knew that I first of all, I went to the Dollar Tree and I went to go find what I wanted at the Dollar Tree, but they really only had mysteries with murder and drama at the time that I went, and so I ended up at the Goodwill, and basically I paid the same price, so I'm still going to call this a dollar store challenge. But I ended up getting two, and the paperback was of course cheaper, so that was actual less than that. But this is about the size of the book that I wanted for this project. Maybe a little bit bigger I would have liked, but this is the main size and I wanted it to be hardback. And the spine and everything was the right size. So this is going to be a format that I'm going to work on this channel for a while. I'm going to fill this up with ephemera and things. So as you can see here, I'm sizing it up to go ahead and put some ink in the edges and things. And the paperback there is full of white pages, and it's sort of ivory pages on the hardback. So I'm going to utilize both of that. So I noticed that right away in store that for my ephemera pieces, I noticed that I wanted some with a white background and then with an ivory background. So here I am just inking up the edges. It kind of already has, the good thing about is getting a book that already has some wear in it. It already has some spotting on it. So it already has some texture that I wanted, but I really wanted to go ahead and use this handmade inker here instead of the Tim Holtz sponge, because it kind of gave me a rougher edge. So I just wanted to use that so I can get a kind of a darker color in there. As you can see, I kind of like the way that looked. Now, like I said, I am going to be tearing out a lot of the pages, but while it's full, I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and do that. So while it's full, it was easier to do and give me that bulk that I needed. So I didn't show that, but I just went on and destroyed the other book and go ahead and wrap them around some seam binding, and just made it neat for my own personal space. But this is my stash. I've already gotten my stash of here that I can use in projects, and then I'm going to go along into the book. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just to go ahead and give it a white background, and I did do the same thing. I'm going to link a video here from Melina's website, is where I got the idea, and I was looking at the different gesso and I ended up using the other gesso. The other one is more for Finder, like maybe in the Bible journal pages, in my big Bible journaling Bible. And so as you can see, this one, I think I only did two coats. I mean, you only need one really for using gesso, but since I was trying to cover it a little bit and I didn't want to use white paint, I went on and utilized two coats. So the next thing that I'm basically going to do is section off. I'm using paper clips, and I'm basically going to section off the different pages. Now this is where it kind of gets tricky. This is the first time that I did one of these, and it may be a minute before I may be ready now. This project has taken me a while, so but I say that is because my count was a little off, because I ended up gluing the first page together, and I probably would have backed another. But you're going to do about 4 pages and then take 10 pages and rip out, and then do 4 pages and then they take 10 pages and rip out. But I didn't count when you're doing the front and the back page. You have that awkward cover, and it just pulls the binding of the book. And so I probably would put another page and back that up and keep that. And then also when doing a page that I have a page folded in front of, it's kind of weak to have one that you're going to use behind it. I would probably put another page behind it to back that up. But if you make this project, you can kind of see what I'm saying. But here I'm just kind of, like I said, just sectioning those out and getting them ready. And then I have my 10 in the middle. And then it's going to vary too as far as what size book. Now, if I would have found the right projected book that I wanted, my counts maybe would have been off depending on that book. But still, just kind of doing it this way, it still turned out great. And even though I forgot about my pockets that I had labeled up, I still, and I'll show that later, I still like how it turned out. So, but here, just making sure my counts are on and off, and I think I counted one more than I was supposed to, 11 instead of 10 there, and just putting my 4 together. And then I'll show the process of how I just folded a few of them the ones that I counted in the 4 count, just folded them randomly in different ways. And then basically I just sporadically did that all throughout the journal. And so here, just giving it another look and then going through there. So those are the ones that I'm going to save. And then the bulk of the ones that I counted there in the 10 counts, they're just going to get taken out. And those ones, the reason for taking them out is this is what I'm going to be putting in the different ephemeras, the booklets, the mini journals, I'm excited to see what I could put in here and be able to fill in. But basically here, this is what I'm doing, is just going to rip those out and then just make another packet like I did with the other book with the extra ones that I take out. And there you go. There's the ones, all the ones that I took out, those were the ones that were in the 10 count. And I already have them ready to go for different projects. And I don't have to worry about, I need something with some words on there that are inspiration. You know, my whole thing is, when I was looking for a booklet, I didn't want to have book pages and pull out a book page and, I have murder on, on words on the page. So I just wanted something inspirational. It was nothing about the books that I picked up except they were faith-based, so I just did that. I just wanted something that was sort of inspirational to use. So I'm glad I was able to find something, and I'm glad I just went across the way is where I can find the Goodwill from my local Dollar Tree. And so as you can see here, I was saying that awkward page in the front, I should have counted another page for that. In doing so, I would have liked to have this last page here that I'm talking about. I would have liked to have an extra page there, but I didn't count in that front page there that you really need to glue together, because it's that awkward page that will tear or rip. So I'm folding pocket 1 and then a pocket 2, and I will just glue those down on the side. Now this is the one that I was talking about, that doing it over, I would probably have another page that I can back that one to and then just glue together just like those two that are in the front, just to give it more stability. Now when I added on my scrapbook pages, yes, it clearly did make it more stable. But this is just me being me. What can I do to improve next time? And what can I tell someone that I would do again? So that is what I do. That is what I would do. So the next section, I'm just randomly folding it in a different way. So the first way I just did the 3 pockets, and then in this one I'm folding it in this triangle pattern, and then I could end up sliding, I can end up gluing on the edge right there of the triangle, the point, and then I can slide something right through the middle and then right down there where my hand goes. And then the last one, I could have made this, just giving an ideas, I could have not glued at the top and made that a big pocket. I could have glued on the sides and not glued on the edge on the right and made that an outer pocket. There's lots of variety. There's no wrong. I don't think there's any wrong way or right way to do it. But this is just, I was just kind of following a little bit, I would say, because the original video that I had got the inspiration from, like I said, she really is a better person to show what to do, and she really has been doing these for a while, and this is just my kind of go at it, and I think it's not that bad, so I wanted to share the process and then the base, because like I said, this is going to be a base that I'm going to base a lot of my focus on when I'm doing the junk journaling, and the ones that will fit in there. Now this is the one that I was going to make the pocket on, but once you get into it and you get the flow and you start putting out your papers, I'm one that I forget about the top, making the top, getting a circle punching down, my idea was to get a circle punch and punch a hole at the top, that way I can slide, or making a V or something to where I can make that a pocket. Or just even just gluing the top of it and the sides, and not leaving the top open. But once I get to going, yeah, that totally went out the window. So, but basically that was the method that kind of just gave a blue point of doing it. This is labor intensive. If you were doing this and you were selling it, you would want to do a lot of pretty penny, because you're taking a lot of time doing this. So if you're wondering why someone is basing this, why is someone this is a little expensive, it's labor intensive. So the work that they did and the time that they put in it, it's really a go. I would say, that's really, really worth it. So this is just my thought process of decorating, and I just like to lay out the things that I want to use to see how they would look and work before I bring out my scrapbook paper. And then I'm just showing the scrapbook paper that I used. This is some Hobby Lobby paper that I used, and that is what I tore up that cardboard paper for. I basically got that going and glued everything down there. Used everything that I utilized, and I really, really like how it turned out. So I used the Mod Podge to kind of shellac everything down there, my lace, and the little rhinestone slides on the ribbon, glued down the jean pocket there, and then one of those papers that I torn out, I did glued it down, ripped some of the sides down, and then spackled some gold paint on it, and then I Mod Podged it to kind of, like I said, protect it over it. Put some flowers on there, and I'm really glad. I really like how it turned out. Now I have this jean, the background, I have this jean paper from Hobby Lobby also. It's just single sheet paper in my stash. And then that is that collection that I showed. And I just used right there some of that paper that I torn out, the wording in the background, and you can really kind of tell there on the pockets I used that paper there. And then I just sporadically used the different colors and tried not to repeat the patterns. And I just wanted to, those are the pockets that I forgot. And I just wanted to kind of just take the paper and sporadically use it all through and just not repeat the patterns, and just ink the edges and the sides. And I'm excited to see what all I can throw it in there, and the different papers and patterns and ephemeras. And now I have something as a base to play with, and I'm excited to see what I can do. And I like how this turned out. So since this is bulky already, I took a paper punch and weighed it down, and because I knew that once it started filling out, it was going to be fluffy enough. So I wanted to kind of weigh it down as much as I could, because once you finish it, it is really bulky. But I love how it turned out. And in the future, I would like to make another one, but for now, it's going to take me a while to even fill this one up. And very excited how it turned out. Just flipping through. And I hope you enjoyed this project. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and see you later, Crafty Nistas.